Yay. The dance scene!
Finally.
Yas Queen, slay! Slay! Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Has to Do with Spider-Man, I think the #1 Sony podcast, or Sonyverse podcast. I'm your host, Peyton, or one of your three hosts, Peyton.
Hi, Peyton.
I'm Jarrett.
And I'm Noah.
And joining us today is a writer, an award-winning writer, specifically, rising screenplay artist. I'm trying to remember what
Screenwriter.
Yeah.
Screenwriter.
Rising screenwriter and friend of the show, and also the founder of the official wiki for the Has to Do with Spider-Man, I think, podcast, Jonah.
Hello, everybody.
Woo!
Hi, Jonah.
Happy to have you here.
It's good for you to be
Yeah,
here.
it is. I'm excited for this.
We're excited to have you here.
It's also pretty new for us because this is our first guest episode. So,
and the official start of phase 2.
Yeah, which is amazing to be doing this. I didn't think we would be getting to phase 2, let alone having guest pitches. So I'm super excited to have you here. Jonah, tell us a little bit more about yourself, because my summary of you was not enough.
It was lacking.
It was severely lacking. I was going to write a whole copy piece, and probably next time that I do this, I will. But I forgot. I got busy.
Oh, that's fine.
So tell us a bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, so I am a sort of an award-winning screenwriter. One of the scripts I had submitted to the Capital Fund screenplay competition that got in the top 100 scripts of the year, number 29. So I was happy about that.
That's exciting, man.
Congratulations. That's that's something you should be proud
Yeah,
of.
thank you. I didn't expect that. I've been writing scripts since I was, I want to say 13. I've been writing before, even that. I wrote small books.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I think with even this podcast, I think a big contribution to that was I was also a big fan of comics growing up.
Sweet.
I was, in fact, named after a comic book character. Sadly, not J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, man.
Aha.
Which one?
Okay, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, which one?
I was named after Jonah Hex, the DC character.
Oh, shit, for real?
Yep.
That's a good pick. That's a deep cut.
Yeah. My dad's a big comic book fan. He was like, we should name our kid after a comic book character, and they didn't want to go with Clark or Bruce.
Oh, wow. That is such a deep cut. That's awesome, though.
It is, yeah.
That is super cool. Did not know that.
What is your opinion on the Jonah Hex movie with Josh Brolin?
I haven't seen it yet. I was thinking about that today, actually, though.
Well, you should see if they do your namesake right.
I bet they don't.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I feel like the Weekly Planet did a video on... Yeah, the Weekly Planet... They did a video on the Caravan of Garbage, and it was
I've seen that.
Yeah, it was during their DC graveyard.
Yep.
It's so funny. It's so funny. So, even though that you're a major comic book fan, what kind of drew you to Spider-Man, and specifically the Sonyverse in general? If you could even say that you're drawn to the Sonyverse. I know that there's some listeners of the podcast that enjoy our stuff, but and they hate the Sonyverse. And I know that there's some people that really just only enjoy the Venom movies. What's your opinion on the Sonyverse, and what kind of drew you to Spider-Man in particular as a guy to really look at and read and watch?
I mean, for me, Spider-Man always represented to me the idea of being somebody very young who had this responsibility and growing up and choosing to do good with that. And I was exposed to Spider-Man in a variety of different forms. I think with this script, it will become very apparent that I'm a big fan of Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends from the 80s. That was my big exposure to him. And then with comics, it's Ultimate Spider-Man for me. Bendis's run, I really enjoyed it, and I felt like it sort of got what I like about that character.
The Bendis Ultimate Spider-Man, I've been recently reading that for some research, and it is so good. It is it is like unbelievably good. The rest of the Ultimate stuff is kind of hit or miss,
Yeah,
but that is like so freaking good.
I keep being reminded that I need to check out the original Ultimate Spider-Man because I'm constantly impressed and enjoying the new Ultimate Spider-Man.
yeah.
And it's just, I'm like, I never actually read that. I should do that at some point, and then I just don't. It's one of those runs where the ever-growing list of runs where I'm like, I should check that out, and then I never check it out.
That's good.
So I'm sure the audience that has clicked on this episode has seen that it is Swiss Miss of the...
Jonah, please explain what Swiss Miss comes from.
Right. Yeah, who is Swiss Miss? And
What drew you to this character and why?
So to me, I found the idea that they did like a whole Spider-Man like Broadway musical. When I heard that, I was like, "Oh, really?" Like, I was all for it. I've seen like the show and recordings, but when it came to like the characters that were being introduced, I saw Swiss Miss and I was like, "Oh, it's an original character." And then like they didn't really do anything with her after that. She has a small cameo in Across the Spider-Verse
for real?
in the background.
Hmm.
And so I was like,
Yeah, like a 2 seconds.
yeah. And even then I was like, oh, like people actually kind of remember this character. And then when I was listening to the episode on El Muerto and I heard Swiss Miss again, I was like, oh, people do remember this.
Yeah, no, Swiss Miss has been on my radar for a while after a Nando v Movies video.
That's right.
When he was talking about Swarm specifically and mentioned Turn Off the
I
Dark.
remember that video, yeah.
Turn Off the Dark has a very interesting place in my heart. It's an incredibly fraught production that nearly killed almost all of the people that were involved in it at one point or another.
Yep.
And then the two stars of Turn Off the Dark, Peter Parker and Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, obviously, are played by Reeve Carney and Patrick Page, who went on to star in my favorite Broadway production, Hadestown. And that's a terrible thing to realize every time I listen to Hadestown.
They got to play Spider-Man on stage.
Yeah. And I guess it's just the Spider-Man curse of nearly breaking your back every time you swing.
It is. But then, like, when I was thinking about, like, what character would I do a movie on? Because the Sonyverse, to me, was always a bizarre concept, even going back to, like, when they were trying to make The Amazing Spider-Man into more of an extended universe. I felt like because I'm me, I would want to do something very obscure and that people hadn't really heard of. So when the opportunity came to me, I was like, who would I really do? And so Swiss Miss came into mind because she doesn't have a backstory. Like, we don't know anything about this character. So I was like, I think I'll make one up.
That works.
There's a video by Lady Emily. She does the editing for Sarah Zed's videos, and she did a video examining the narrative of Turn Off the Dark.
Oh.
And if I remember correctly, isn't Swiss Miss created by one of the muses? Isn't there muses in this musical? Like kind of like Greek muses? Or am I misremembering this?
Another's Hadestown connection.
Is that another one?
I mean, like, there's so much in that musical that was so weird to me. Like, they started going into, like, different, like, dimensions and stuff, like, all this godly stuff, and, like, the Sinister Six were, like, Oscorp employees who, like, made into them. And I was like, people actually made this. Somebody sat down and wrote this.
It's giving Amazing Spider-Man.
It is.
That's crazy. So let's just, I guess, get into it. let's hop into Swiss Miss. I want to know, did you pick out a director for this pitch that you got for us?
Yes, I did.
Who?
So my thing was I wanted to get somebody who was sort of like in that, not new talent, but like they had been around before, but like they had just done like a directorial debut. And so I chose for Swiss Miss to be directed by Zelda Williams.
Of like, oh shit, what did she do?
She did
Lisa Frankenstein?
Yep.
That's a good pick.
The daughter of Robin Williams, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I was always so amazed by that. Just like the daughter of my favorite comedian, and like she made this good movie from last year, and I felt like this is going to deal into the script I wrote goes into like a lot of angst, and although it's set in college, this was primarily inspired by like Stephen King's Carrie, and from the Are You Afraid of the Dark universe, it was also inspired by Dylan's Kill Your Darlings.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Noah is still pretty behind on the Dark Universe podcast. I think he's only a couple episodes into phase 1. He might have just finished phase 1.
I finished phase 1. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of Carrie at the very least.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have any predictions before we hop into Jonah's pitch, y'all, or?
Well, there's a few characters here on the cast list that I will not talk much about, but they speak to certain plot points potentially. Seems to be a fairly large Daily Bugle focus potentially.
Okay.
Intriguing.
I question whether this will take place either before El Muerto when Swiss Miss is in the tournament, or if this will be a follow-up taking place after the tournament, like Montana and the Enforcers.
Yeah.
Sort of spinning out of her appearance.
El Muerto will definitely, like the events of that movie will definitely be referenced in this.
Sick.
Sweet.
So this does take place after.
I did not say that.
I think there'll be a dance sequence. Ooh.
There will be a dance sequence.
Yes!
Set to something from Turn Off the Dark.
I wish I had thought of that, but no, I was, because I...
Damn!
I wish. Part of me was like, I need to go back and re-listen to that soundtrack, but then I was like, no.
Is it available anywhere? Like,
there would be a lot of questions raised
about
how the music of Turn Off the Dark actually came about.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a Spider-Man one.
It exists within like the essence of the universe itself. Sometimes it just spontaneously plays in the air along on the wind when the scene calls for it.
Oh yeah.
In universe, it would be the Flash Turn Off the Dark.
That's right.
Was it like most of the music read by Sting or something? Perhaps Sting was like
by Bono.
Bono, yeah. Bono's like I feel compelled to write something, but I don't know what this means.
I nearly gave Bono a cameo in this movie, but sadly, it was not meant to be.
Bono is our new Stan Lee, so
no,
not actually.
We're not doing that.
That'd be weird. That'd be really weird.
That's Bono.
Just like gives him one line, and everybody in the theater is like, "Was that fucking Bono?"
Let's get into it. I'm excited. I'm just like, I'm really intrigued by this, and it's also like very fun to have a guest on the pod, and so I'm like super excited. I'm sure I sound in the audio like pretty antsy and nervous because I'm like, ooh, I've never done this before. I've never had a guest. We've never had a guest before. So I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Jonah, take it away. I'm so ready.
I'm so ready.
All right. So, without further ado, submitted for the approval of whoever's on the Sony board now. Clearly they need help.
We've had a restructuring.
That's true. This is Swiss Miss. Cold open. We open up on the Marvel logo, dark blue and gray. We hear a little girl struggling. We fade in on the little girl's room. In the room, we see various clay sculptures as well as small toys and posters lining the wall. The girl in the bed is Molly Dante, who's about 10 years old. She squirms in her bed, and her eyes, though closed, scrunch as things around her begin to shake. It almost seems as if there's an earthquake happening exclusively in that room. One of the objects in there is a single metal ball, which begins to shake violently. Molly then shoots up from her bed, panting and crying. She calls out,
Mommy?
as if on cue, her mother, Dr. Aurora Dante, arrives. She's played by Rachel Weisz from The Mummy, and my inspiration for the character, twins Elliot and Beverly Mansell from Dead Ringers. She walks over and holds Molly.
What's the matter, sweetheart?
Molly holds onto a stuffed plush spider and holds it close to her chest.
I had a nightmare.
About what?
Although she says it sincerely, there's a hint of exhaustion in her voice. This is clearly not the first time this has happened.
The witch was trying to get me.
What witch?
Swiss Miss.
Aurora sits next to Molly, who still cries. In a weird act, Aurora casually takes the spider doll, drops it on the floor, and kicks it under the bed.
It's okay. She's not real. She's just a myth.
Molly looks up to her mother, blinking away some tears.
Really?
Of course. Nothing is here to harm you.
Aurora looks over the room and sees that nothing is out of place. She then sees the metal ball, which has been curved and now resembles a peach. She takes a look outside and sees that the light posts on the street have also been bended, some up, some down.
Crap.
Aurora looks down at Molly, who has seemed to calm down and is breathing.
How about we go to Mommy's lab?
Isn't it pretty late?
Actually, it's pretty early. It's 3 a.m.
Aurora gets up and holds her hand out to Molly, who looks at her.
Just some small test, and then we can come back.
Molly, seemingly reluctantly, takes her mother's hand as they both walk out of the room. Molly looks down at her feet.
I hate these tests.
The two of them leave their apartment as the screen darkens to reveal Swiss Miss.
Good opening scene.
Okay.
I'm immediately like thinking about with the metal ball. I'm thinking about the Diary of a Wimpy Kid thing that Riley sits
You
on.
gotta stop.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
For context, this came up prior to starting the recording.
The Tiggy.
It's not the tea!
It's not called that.
He's the blanket.
Yes, the Tiggy's the blanket.
You said you were gonna. Thank you. We were trying to tell him this, and he keeps saying it's called a tingy. It's
No
not.
one's giving Tiggy.
It's giving. No.
It's evocative
What do you
of
mean
the
it's
Tiggy.
giving tingy? The only thing that gives tingy is tingy.
I look at a metal ball and I think Tiggy. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
So, but talking about the content,
I hate you.
I hate myself too.
I hate you.
I hate myself too. I think that this opening scene really it piques my interest. It's also like kind of scary, which the most scary pitch that we've had so far, in my opinion, has been Otto.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited to kind of grapple again with like horror in a Sony Spider-Man universe. So this really piques my interest. I'm really excited for this, man.
Yeah.
Very intriguing.
Intriguing, as Morbius says.
We want to head into Act 1?
Yes, let's.
All right. Act 1. We now find ourselves on the campus of Empire State University. Bottom text reveals we are now in late 2018. A young girl runs through the campus, heading towards one of her classes. This is the now adult Molly, played by Lana Condor, who some may recognize as having played Jubilee in X-Men Apocalypse for about 5 seconds.
Yes!
Continue.
She rushes past people until she makes it to the appropriate hall. Once inside, Molly takes a seat as her professor, Nathan Price, played by Elliot Page of X-Men and Umbrella Academy fame, comes out, sitting at his desk, and starts the projector, showing a picture of a goblin.
In continuing our conversation from last week, I will say I was impressed with the amount of responses I received in regards to what creatures we should cover in this course. This goblin image was taken from old 17th century folk lore. You all suggested some other varying topics.
Bryce looks through a folder, pulling out several pieces of paper.
You all had some really interesting ideas, including giant tarantulas, vampire bats, and one of you even suggested we cover the crash of the Life Foundation probe a month ago. I feel we would if there was a substantial amount of evidence that they actually brought back something from space.
Some people in the audience groan.
I know, but one figure that was brought up really seemed to be one that I found interesting. Some of you may not even know who this is.
He goes over to the whiteboard, writing something we can't yet see.
Let's talk about Swiss Miss. And no, I don't mean the brand of hot chocolate.
A few sneers from the audience. We pan over to see Molly, who squirms a little in her seat. On the board is a stick figure version of Swiss Miss.
Now, Swiss Miss was a witch who existed a long time ago. While I won't exactly go over the whole story, I will say that one aspect to take note of is that she can control metal. She used it to create a suit of armor, protecting herself from any dangers.
Molly raises her hand.
Yes, Miss Dante?
Are we sure that she actually existed? I mean, we've talked a lot about other mythological stuff here. Is it possible?
Oh, I really couldn't say. Like I said, she's been a fable for a very long time. It's hard to track that down. But I suppose all myths have a root in the real life. I mean, we do have some pretty weird things in this world, especially if you follow all those conspiracies online.
Everyone in the class, including Molly, laughs. Molly looks at her desk, seeing a paperclip. She extends 2 fingers right above it to see if she can make it move, but nothing happens, and Molly breathes a sigh of relief. We cut to Molly walking across campus as she makes her way over to the video game department of the Communications Media Building. Inside, she finds a room with several arcade cabinets. One of them stands out immediately, Zellman Command. Although it's not the game itself that Molly is focused on, it's who's playing. Playing the game is Frances Bite, played by Rachel Sennett of Bottoms and Saturday Night fame. She is Molly's roommate and best friend and is now entirely focused on the game at hand. She briefly looks over to see Molly.
Hey, Moll, what's up?
Oh, nothing. Price let us go early, so I thought I'd see how you were doing.
Well, I haven't beaten the high score of this just yet.
You don't seem to be slowing down, though. How long have you been playing?
I got in at 8. What time is it now?
It's 1. You've really been playing for 5 hours? Have you even gone to the bathroom?
Once, but when you're concentrating on something important, you just keep going.
Molly rolls her eyes and leans on the machine a little.
So, you going to the soccer game later?
No? Why would I?
I just thought you may go because Luis is playing.
This stops Frances for a moment, but she continues playing.
I mean, I guess that's cool, but she barely knows me.
You never let her get a chance to know you. Come on, if you have a crush on her, just go see her play.
You know I'm not into sports.
But you are into her. Look, I'm not telling you what to do. This is just what I would do. I'm going to head back to the dorm.
As Molly leaves, Frances stares blankly at the game and gives a heavy sigh. Although she can't see it, Molly smiles. As Molly walks back to her dorm, she looks up at the sky, seeing a flock of bluebirds in the sky. She takes in the sight before colliding with another student. She looks up to see Sally Averill, played by Thomasin McKenzie from Jojo Rabbit and Last Night in Soho. She shakes her head as Molly stumbles and backs up.
Oh my god, Sally, I'm so sorry. Here.
She extends her hand as she helps Sally to her feet.
Thanks, Molly. It's no problem. I should have been looking.
I should have been looking. I was too busy looking at the sky.
Hey, I don't blame you. Nice day, especially for November.
Yeah, winter's coming in soon, so I guess this will be good for now.
Sally laughs, which makes Molly smile and blush.
Are you going to Glory's party tomorrow night?
Molly looks a little confused, causing Sally to explain.
Glory Grant. She's hosting a party at the Tri Sigma house. It's open to all students.
Molly has no idea what she's talking about. She hasn't heard about it on campus, but she smiles.
You're right. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, of course I'll be there.
Yay! I hope I'll see you there. Is Frances coming?
I have a way to get her to go.
They both laugh.
Well, I'll see you then.
See ya.
Sally walks past her as they smile at each other. Molly turns her head and her smile grows big. The blushing on her cheeks becomes more red. As she starts to make her way back to her dorm, a couple of the street lamps begin to bend a little, but she doesn't notice. Later that night, Molly scrolls through her phone as Frances comes in. Molly looks at her, smiling and giving her the look that asks, "So?"
I hate you.
Take that as a sign that it was good then.
Frances crosses the room to her bed, getting under the covers.
Come on, tell me. How'd she play?
Frances lets out a long sigh and turns her head to face Molly.
She was really good, even if I didn't really understand what was going on.
That's soccer for you. Did you talk to her?
No, but she did wave to me at the end.
See? That's good. You've got to get to know her if you want to be close to her.
I'm trying. It's just anxiety inducing. Besides, why are we talking about me? I see the blush marks on your face. You saw Sally Averill earlier, didn't you?
Molly smiles but doesn't answer.
Maul, that's what we should be talking about.
It was nothing. We just accidentally bumped into one another.
And love immediately blossomed.
Nothing like that. Just talked for a second. Did you know Glory Grant is having a party tomorrow night?
Glory Grant? Isn't she kind of uptight?
That's what I've heard, but I told Sally that I would go.
Why?
Because I want to get close to her.
You barely know her.
Not true. We worked on that one science project together.
That was months ago.
And we had a fun time. I want to have a fun time at the party.
Well, I hope it all goes according to plan.
You're coming too.
No, I'm not.
I guarantee Luis is going to be there.
And so will all the other players. She'll barely notice me.
You'll never know if you don't show up. Besides, I can't just go by myself. Think about how lame that would be.
We're both lame. I've just gotten used to it.
Please.
Frances looks at her before rolling her eyes.
Can't believe that I'm doing this.
Yay! I promise, it'll be fun.
If you say so.
Molly smiles and turns on her side, shutting her eyes and going to sleep. The next scene is a montage playing out the events of the next day. Molly walks around campus, goes to some classes, and sees Sally, making her smile at the prospect of what tonight will bring. Meanwhile, Frances stays in the video game department, but occasionally sees other people pass her by. As she walks back to her dorm, she sees Louise Jameson, played by Ella Purnell of Yellow Jackets and Fallout fame. She waves and smiles at Frances, who does the same, and turns her head so Louise doesn't see her blushing. Later, at the dorm room, Molly and Frances are trying stuff on.
I don't really think we should show up too fashionable.
I couldn't agree more.
Although I do want to try the gray jacket.
Do it. I wouldn't say that's too fashionable.
What are you wearing?
Probably just my regular clothes. It's a party, not a dance.
Fair point.
Cut to a little bit later as the two are walking towards the sorority house.
Make sure to smile and be polite.
You can do that. I want to be myself.
They arrive at the house and knock on the door. After a couple of seconds, Glory Grant opens the door. She's played by Io Edebiri of The Bear fame. She looks at them, trying to figure out who they are before she finally gets it.
Aren't you Mary and Fiona?
It's Molly and Frances, but close enough.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember you from science class.
That was last semester, but yes.
Well, come on in. It's a free party.
The two of them enter the house, and a huge party is in full effect. Molly scans the crowd and sees Sally. She turns to Molly.
Well, I hope you have fun.
I'll try. Go get her, Tiger.
Molly walks off and walks over to Sally, who smiles upon seeing her.
You made it!
Told you I would come.
Well, I'm glad you showed up. Thought I was going to have to do this drinking by myself.
You aren't coming with anyone else?
No. Person I was going to go with was busy.
Two of them walk off towards a bunch of solo red cups, and each picks up one.
What should we drink to?
How about a good semester so far? That is, if you're having one.
I certainly am, and I will drink to that.
The two drink up and immediately start coughing. Meanwhile, Frances walks around holding her own cup of booze until she spots Louise. She begins getting nervous and starts to turn away, but Louise sees her.
Hey, Francis!
Frances reluctantly turns and sees Louise walking towards her. She's dressed in her soccer uniform.
Didn't think you were coming. Molly get you out of the dorm?
Something like that.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, you did show up yesterday for our home game.
And congratulations, by the way. You guys did great.
Thank you. It means a lot when people actually show up instead of watching it online.
A voice peeks out from behind them.
Really helps when we can get enough support.
We see the person talking walk up to behind Louise to reveal Angelica Jones, who's played by Sophie Thatcher of Yellow Jackets and Companion fame.
Angelica? I didn't expect to see you here.
Well, we just got off practice and felt like partaking in some sort of event.
Well, that explains the uniform.
Yeah, we kind of left in a rush.
More like you rushed. You couldn't wait to get here hoping to see...
Louise elbows her a little so she'll stop talking. Frances notices and gives a small smile.
You also played well, Angelica.
Thanks, Francis.
Honestly, I think we're doing pretty well this season. No bad luck so far.
Or a jinx.
Hey, that was an old nickname. I've grown. I'm all fired up.
The three of them laugh before they all go to get more alcohol.
So, Francis, you've been hanging around the arcade a lot.
Yeah, sometimes, just to go clear my mind.
Not to play games?
Well,
Honestly, I wish I had more time to go there. But practice comes first and gets in the way a lot.
Frances smiles at this.
So you've been before.
I've been dozens of times.
In your favorite game?
You're gonna think it's cheesy.
I promise you, I've played tons of worse games.
Zam Man?
Classic.
Hey, lovebirds, come get some booze with me. I don't want to be at the party sober.
Frances and Louise smile, and although neither can see it, they blush. Molly sees this from afar and pumps her fist in the air. Molly and Sally walk around the house, dodging any sort of obstacle that comes in their way, such as drunk idiots bouncing on chairs or lamps being thrown. They sit down on two couches.
So, how have your studies been?
They're good. Just trying to keep up with all the photos they're having me take.
I think that's pretty much a given when you work as a photographer.
Doesn't mean it's not a pain. I mean, development is a nightmare.
Is that where you have to go through that red room?
Yeah. Then you have to go through a whole process of making the photos come out just right.
Maybe I'll take photography next semester.
Sally laughs.
I didn't realize you like torture so much, Miss Dante.
Both of them laugh as they take another huge swig of alcohol.
What are you studying anyway?
Different mythologies. It's the kind of stuff that interests me. I think I could write a book about it, honestly.
Mythologies? Like Greek, Roman stuff?
Kind of. More monsters that may have existed years ago.
Ooh, like sentient dinosaurs. Or like those intelligent bees.
Yep. The weird and unnatural of the world.
What about Swiss Miss?
Molly freezes in her tracks.
Yeah, I think I know about that one.
Molly takes another sip and gulps.
Yeah, that stuff sounds interesting. I should take those classes.
Molly is taken out of her daze and smiles.
Yeah, you should.
At this point, we get our obligatory dance number set to ABBA's Gimme Gimme Gimme.
Yes!
Yay. The dance scene!
Finally.
Yas, Queen, slay! Slay! Yes!
Everyone now seems to be dancing as the neon lights bounce around. It can be tough to make out what's going on, but we can see dumb college students getting drunk. Frances and Louise dance together, although they don't really seem to be making a lot of eye contact, almost as if they're avoiding looking at the blushing on each other's cheeks. Angelica from the sidelines smiles and laughs. Molly and Sally dance near each other, but not fully with each other. The two look over to each other and at the lights around them. In the moment, we can see some small metal objects float around the room, but nobody notices. Molly and Sally get more close to each other, and in a moment of confusion, Molly kisses Sally on the lips. As they part, we hear someone screaming as the music stops. We look over to see that Glory is in pain, and then some random piece of metal has hit her in her leg. Some other pieces of metal fly through the air, and people begin to run out. Angelica goes to Glory and calls 911. Molly looks down at her hands, which are shaking violently. Molly, in a state of panic, quickly grabs Francis and starts running. Francis can clearly see that Molly is in a state of shock, but isn't sure why. However, she's a good friend and puts her arm around her as they head back to the dorm. In the background, ambulances arrive at the house. Back in the dorm, Molly, still shaken, sits on her bed with a blanket over her shoulders. Francis comes over with a cup of hot chocolate, which can be Swiss Miss branded if we really need to do product placement.
We do need to do product placement.
Yeah,
We do indeed. That is
the
canon.
Sony overlords.
These movies are, nobody's funding these movies anymore, so we got to get as much revenue as possible.
That's fair. Molly begins to sob. Francis leans her head on her shoulder and gives her a hug. Molly takes in the moment, breathing a sigh of comfort and joy. The next morning, Molly wakes up, seemingly a little hungover, and sees Francis' dog, Miss Lion, licking her arm. Molly smiles and pets her before looking in the room, seeing Francis is not there. She sees a note that says she went to go get groceries. Molly sits up and rubs her eyes before she is jolted by a knock on the door. She goes over and opens. To her shock, she sees her mother is there, holding up a news article on her phone about the accident last night.
To my lab. Now.
End of Act 1.
This is strong.
This is really strong.
Yeah, this is good. I'm really liking it. It's so interesting to see, like, so you don't know anything about like our future plans, really.
No, I mean I know the titles.
Yeah, there are things in this that like we can easily see showing up in future things, or at least I can see stuff that's like, oh my gosh, like this is really cool. Like this is really dope. I think you're doing a wonderful job, Jonah. This is great.
Thank you.
I'm not as familiar with Carrie, but I'm getting I'm really getting the Kill Your Darlings vibes.
Yeah.
And they're perfect. The college student back and forth, the relationship stuff kind of just not even like really like nobody's directly talking about it with the people who they are having crushes on, but you can feel that emotion just like right there at the surface, but just not coming up. And it feels very realistic.
Yeah, you're really good at dialogue.
Thank you. I mean, the Carrie influence will come sort of towards the end in Act 3, definitely. But, like, Carrie had telekinetic powers, and although this is more like metal manipulation, I sort of wanted to give it, like, the same sort of feel to it.
Okay. I'm not I'm not familiar with the character's history in the musical at all. Is is she just kind of like a cool design, like a unique character with a cool design, or is the witch and the metal manipulation actually like part of her backstory in the play?
No, the witch and metal manipulation was my idea.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I didn't want to make...
So all of this lore is completely unique to this story then?
Yes.
Nice.
I thought that was the case because I remembered like when you first said you wanted to do Swiss Miss, I think all I did was like look up a wiki page and it was mostly empty.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was just like, this is how the character looks and this is where they appeared. And there was no other information. So I was like, I don't know where you go with this, but I'm very intrigued. This all being unique to this interpretation is very cool.
I felt with it because there was no backstory. It basically gave me a clean slate to do what I wanted with the character.
As you should.
Yeah.
For real.
I'm very interested to see where this goes.
Yeah.
This also means that there is it's opening up to the more magical corner of the spum so far.
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah.
Super cool. I'm looking at the wiki real quick of Swiss Miss, and all it says is, little is known about Swiss Miss. During the retelling of Spider-Man's origin, Miss Arrow, one of the musical narrators, spontaneously added Swiss Miss to the lineup of the original Sinister Six, feeling that the team could use a, quote, woman's touch.
I did see that.
So that's really it. There is mention of Green Goblin mutating a female scientist,
Yes.
but like there is nothing about this character. So
We're going to retroactively add her to Lethal
Oh
Protectors.
my God.
She's been there the whole time.
and you were there too.
I mean,
You were there too.
I'm not going to spoil
We're at
anything.
feast right now. Don't look upstairs.
Intriguing. Want to move into Act 2?
Yes, we
Let's
shall.
continue.
Yeah!
All right. Act 2. We open up on a flashback of a young Molly inside a laboratory being run by Aurora. Molly is poked and prodded until she lashes out, sending nearby metal flying. Aurora largely ignores Molly even when she calls out for her mother. Back in 2018, Aurora and Molly are sitting in a car as Aurora is driving them both to her work. Molly isn't even looking at her mother and is instead looking out the window.
Do you want to explain to me what happened?
Not really. I don't feel like talking about it.
Molly, this can't keep happening.
It's been a while. Nothing substantial occurred.
A girl was injured, and you don't think that's substantial?
That's not what I meant.
When did you last take your pills?
I took them that morning. I did as I was instructed.
Then it seems the dosage is getting weaker.
Car pulls up to where Aurora works.
Guess we'll have to do some tests and make some new ones.
As the two get out, we see that the building/company that Aurora works for is Oscorp.
Oh,
Dog.
okay.
Inside Oscorp, the two of them walk through various hallways before reaching a high-tech laboratory called TOTD, which, yeah, turn off the dark. Aurora puts on a lab coat and ushers Molly to sit on a stool. As she does so, Aurora's boss, Norman Osborn, comes in. He's played by Glenn Howerton, reprising his role from previous installments. He's eating corn on the cob.
Corn on the Coblin!
Exactly.
Corn of Coblin.
Corn on the Coblin!
No.
Okay, hold on, I gotta get into the Norman.
Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
Aurora, I see you brought her in. Hey, Maul, how have you been doing?
Not great, Mr. Osborne.
I can see that. Well, don't worry, just some tests and then you'll be back on your way. How old are you now, anyway?
21 now.
Dear God, it's been so long since I've seen you here. Hope you're keeping out of trouble in school. I mean, besides what happened last night.
Norman laughs to himself, but Molly doesn't bother to express any emotion. She just looks around as Norman leaves. Aurora gathers up a syringe and puts it into Molly's arm as the tests begin. At this moment, we get flashbacks to Molly's childhood. She is seen in an orphanage, and despite a little 4-year-old girl, she is able to lift and manipulate metal with her mind. However, she soon accidentally throws a piece at a worker, injuring her hand. We then see a flashback where Aurora visits the orphanage and meets Molly for the first time. Molly, at this point in time, being 5, is approached by Aurora, who kneels down to her level.
Hello, little one. What's your name?
Molly?
That's a great name. I bet we're going to get along very well.
That's a young Molly in the back of Aurora's car as she finally leaves the orphanage. As the car drives away, the metal doors to the orphanage bends. At Aurora's house, we see Molly being forced to use her powers and bend some metal. Aurora sits next to her, taking notes. It's clear from the look on Molly's face that she hates doing this. At an Oscorp laboratory, Molly is put in a vacuum-sealed container and is analyzed by Aurora, as well as many other scientists. This keeps going until Molly has a breakdown, and metal from all over the room begins shooting everywhere. One piece lands in the neck of a female scientist. She's played by Julie Taymor, who co-created the Broadway musical Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. Everyone in the room panics, and Aurora, in a moment of genuine fear, hides Molly in her arms so she doesn't see anything else.
It's okay, honey. It's okay.
To Molly's horror, she sees a lot of blood beginning to pour out. She closes her eyes shut as tears start to form. Later, at the Dante house, Norman visits and talks with Aurora as Molly is in bed. She, however, is actually awake and goes to overhear what her mother and Osborne are talking about.
I don't want to send her there. It wouldn't be right. She's a child.
Dr. Tamor is critically injured. She'll probably never talk again. I just think that maybe Ravencroft would be the right fit.
There's dangerous people in there. Besides, we haven't even scratched the surface on her powers yet.
This conversation keeps going on until Norman relents.
Fine, but you need to find a cure.
He walks out as Molly hears her mother crying. In the final flashback, Molly, a little bit older, is given a red pill by her mother.
It will make all of the problems go away.
Molly takes the pill as we flash forward to the end of the test being done in the lab. Aurora hands Molly a vial with several purple pills.
I want you taking these every day. If you skip once, we could have another incident, and you'll end up right back here. Do I make myself clear?
Molly doesn't answer.
Molly Lee Dante, do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. You should know that I don't like doing this. There's a bus outside that should take you back to campus.
Bye, Mom.
Aurora doesn't respond, instead focusing her attention on a beam called the light wave. Molly storms out. Back at campus, Molly arrives back in her dorm. Frances still isn't there, but Miss Lyon is laying on her bed. Molly walks past her and lies back on the bed, burying her face in the pillow. We can hear a soft, muffled groan. A little while later, Frances arrives with a couple of bags of groceries and sees Molly.
Hey, you feeling any better?
Molly doesn't answer. Frances puts the groceries on the floor and sits on the edge of Molly's bed.
I know you still may feel fucked up about last night. I certainly am. I guess people just had too much fun and accidents happen.
Molly continues to not speak, and Frances eventually pats her shoulder and gets off the bed. Later on, days pass, and Molly begins acting distant towards any peers that she has. She doesn't pay a lot of attention in class and frankly seems bored with a lot of the things going on around her. In one of Professor Price's classes, he calls in her, but she doesn't respond.
Miss Dante, are you still with us?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. What was the question again?
We were just going over the origins of jack-o'-lanterns. Try to keep up.
Sorry.
During this time, Molly particularly stays away from Sally as she still feels awkward about the kiss. This becomes hard as Molly walks around campus a lot. As she walks, she sees Glory, who has returned from the hospital wearing a small cast. Molly, feeling bad, walks over to her.
Hey, Glory.
Glory looks at her with recognition.
Oh, hey Molly.
How's the leg?
It could be better, but drunken mishaps happen all the time.
Do you remember what happened?
Not really. I guess I was just drinking a little too much and injured myself. You know, it happens.
Did the doctor say if it was bad?
It's gonna be all good. Just a couple more weeks and I'll be better.
Molly breathes a sigh of relief.
I'm just glad nobody else got hurt.
Molly nods her head, says goodbye, and leaves, still with a hint of guilt in her eye. I meant to say eyes, whatever. At the dorm, Molly ignores Frances and we see her stop taking her pills. She experiments with small metal objects like paper clips and straightens them out. This goes on for days. During that time, Molly continues to distance herself. At one point, her mother tries to call her, but she ignores her. Finally, one day, in her dorm, Frances comes in and speaks up.
So, it's been a while, but I took a major step. I asked Louise out to the Christmas dance. And she said yes! I know it's very cheeky, but I honestly think I'm excited for it.
Molly doesn't answer, just looks at a small piece of metal.
Well, thank you for your support, roomie.
What exactly do you want me to say?
I don't know. How about congrats? Or, that's great. I mean, honestly, what has gotten into you?
Nothing's gotten into me, Francis. I've just been busy.
Bullshit. You've been acting like this ever since that party.
Gee, I don't know. Maybe seeing someone bleeding is a turnoff for me.
But that was a few weeks ago, and Glory's fine. Just some small stitches. It's not like she bled out.
Thankfully.
Ma, not like you did anything. Besides, I thought you'd be in a more positive mood. The semester's almost over, and then we get a brief vacation.
Molly doesn't answer.
Can't take this anymore. This is just getting so frustrating.
What, me being distant?
Yes, it hurts to see my best friend wallowing in self-pity for something that doesn't concern her.
Molly stands up, getting into Francis's face.
Would you rather me just pretend like everything's great? Congratulate you for getting to date a popular girl who people only care about because of her great uncle's shitty newspaper? Well, congrats, you got a date with somebody who probably doesn't care about you. Good luck with that.
Molly grabs her coat and backpack and leaves the dorm, leaving Francis stunned. On the other side of the door, Molly looks really guilty for what she said. She reaches for the doorknob, but retracts her hand and keeps on walking. Inside the room, Francis lets out a sigh of worry for her friend. Molly heads into Professor Price's class. He comes in, putting notes down on the table.
Morning, class. I received a bunch of emails from an anonymous student who was asking about origins, so today I feel like we can discuss the myth of Swiss Miss. I took the liberty of looking more into this instead of talking out of my ass.
Students laugh as Price begins to draw on a whiteboard, and as he does, we get an animated sequence using stick figures and drawings. The first images that pop up are a baby being held by a woman.
The being that would become known as Swiss Miss was born around 500 years ago in a small coastal village in Switzerland.
The baby leaps from her mother's arms and begins to grow. As she does, we can see her making small metal objects float around her.
Being born with the ability to control metal doesn't help much, and she was labeled an outcast. She wasn't too thrilled.
As people surround the young woman and yell at her, she lashes out, and a long strip of metal impales 7 people. She makes a shocked expression and runs off into the woods.
Although those killings horrified her, she could never be left alone, and it drove her mad.
As people descend on a log cabin in the woods, metal flies out through many areas and kills a ton of people. The woman walks out of the cabin wearing what looks like a weird metal armor. She goes through the village and begins killing people who get in her way, and does so in some rather violent ways. She stabs someone through the face, decapitates one, and even slices a woman perfectly in 2.
And although her reign was mighty, eventually it came to an end.
Shot of an animated grave with a piece of metal sticking out.
But, as legend had it, she would be reincarnated in the late 20th century and would return to rain terror on those who wrong her.
As he says this, a bolt of lightning strikes the piece of metal, and she rises from the grave. We go back to normal as we see the illustrations are written on the board. Price faces the class.
The point of the whole story is that power can absolutely corrupt those who use it for evil. Although the sense of revenge can be thrilling, it festers inside of you until you become a shell of who you once were. If Swiss Miss was in fact reincarnated, she could be walking the earth right now.
This hits a nerve with the people in the class. Molly looks down at a coin in her hand and moves a finger, causing the coin to fold upwards. She breathes heavily. Later on, as snow begins to fall outside, we can see that Molly is in a very uncomfortable place in her life. In her dorm, she is rarely speaking to Francis and has thrown away her pills. Outside, she walks around campus, and soon she accidentally runs into Sally. It's been a while.
Oh, hey, Molly.
Hey, Sally. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Just taking in the weather.
Yeah, I get that.
There is a small, awkward pause before Sally speaks up.
Listen,
I guess I should be apologizing. I know we weren't both kind of drunk, and I didn't mean to kiss you without asking or anything. I guess I just got caught up in the heat of the moment.
Sally breathes a sigh of relief.
Thank you for that. I didn't really know how to approach the subject, but like you said, it was in the heat of the moment. I don't really know what came over me.
Yeah, me neither. Guess it was just awkward. I think it's my fault, really. I instigated it.
Hey, don't worry about it. You're both a little drunk. And obviously, I see you as a good friend, though I don't really go that way, if you know what I mean. I'm kind of seeing someone.
Molly's lower right eyelid twitches a little, and we can hear her breathing getting deeper.
No, I get that. Who are you seeing, by the way?
Oh, Bennett Brandt. I met him in one of my English classes. He's the one I was talking about who was doing homework. We're going to that Christmas dance tomorrow.
Molly begins to panic a little more. Something is clearly going on. She sees metal around her start to shake.
He seems nice. Congrats. Sorry, I gotta go. I'm looking for Francis.
As she walks off, Sally calls out.
Hope to see you there.
Molly just gives a small thumbs up before walking faster. She grabs her phone and calls Francis. In the arcade, Francis is playing a game when she sees that Molly is calling. She's still a little hurt by what was said to her and forwards the call. Outside, Molly sees that Francis didn't pick up. Metal around her begins to shake and bend violently.
No, no, no. Come on, Francis. Pick up. I really need you.
As she goes to call again, a small pellet hits her in the neck and she falls over. She looks at what hit her, seeing it's a sleeping agent. A sniper walks in front of her and picks her up. Before Molly passes out, she sees an Oscorp patch on the sniper's arm. End of Act 2.
Okay. I like this.
Oscorp's got snipers?
They do.
That's wild.
Oscorp got shooters, bro. Was not expecting that. Although I guess they probably heard stories of different stuff still happening, and so
Yeah, metal's still
I
bending.
figured she stopped taking them again.
Yep.
I'm guessing they had her followed from like day one, though.
Yeah. That'd be my guess.
Oscorp be doing shady stuff like that.
This is a really good act too.
Thank you.
I really like this. This is just seeing the yeah, I don't know, it all just it feels very genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the interactions between people. And I again seeing a lot of comparisons to just To Kill Your Darlings from the Dark Universe, mostly just in, I think it just comes with the territory of the setting
And the flashbacks.
and the flashbacks, yeah. But this is really, really good.
Thank you. I mean, next act is definitely going to be, I mean, I should have said up front, this is definitely a rated R script.
Okay.
We are about to get into some.
I'm getting flashes
You
of
kind of feel it going that way.
I'm getting flashes of my auto script where like right before a bloodbath hit, I was just like, by the way, this is R.
Well, that's so like this next act is going to be a lot of blood.
I'm so ready.
Yeah,
I'm so ready.
I doubt most of this cast is going to be making it out.
You'd be surprised, but that's all I'm going to say.
I'm really attached to Francis. I really like Francis.
Francis is cool. Please no.
You just like Rachel Sennott.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how this all blows up in Act 3. Are we ready?
All right.
Let's hop into that Act 3.
Act 3. Molly's eyes slowly flutter open as she realizes she's in a containment tube in the same Oscorp lab her mother works in. Her mother is right across from her, sitting in a chair. Molly screams for her mother, but no. Noises escape the tube.
I could have told the sniper to take a more lethal shot. Though I guess I should have seen this coming.
Aurora shows a video board.
Each one of the pills had a small tracker inside, so I would know when you took them. Considering it's been weeks, I should have expected something to happen.
Molly's eyes widen as part near the bottom of the screen reads subject scheduled for termination. She looks at her mother.
I can't have people getting hurt because of you. I'm sorry.
Aurora leaves her chair and begins to walk towards the control panel. Inside the tube, we can hear Molly call out for her mother.
Mom, please. I'll do anything. Don't get rid of me. Stop. I'll stay here. I love you.
These words aren't heard by her mother, who instead flicks a few switches as a voice comes on in the tube alerting of a gas coming on in 3 minutes. Molly looks at her mother in shock, but she just stares back. Molly holds her legs to her chest and closes her eyes.
Mommy.
She thinks about what Price said. Swiss Miss would be reincarnated at the end of the 20th century. She controlled metal. She thinks about her mother, who used her as more of a test subject instead of a daughter. She begins to breathe in slowly as the metal around the entire room begins to fidget and shake. As this happens, her eyes glow white. Aurora begins to notice and activates the gas immediately. As gas starts pouring into the tube, small pieces of metal from around the room begin to hit the glass tube, creating a number of cracks. Finally, the entire tube breaks as Molly stands up. Aurora, scared, grabs a blaster holding the lightwave beam and points it at Molly. Molly looks at her with the eyes of a killer. With a swift flick of her finger, the gun explodes. Aurora backs up as Molly comes near.
Listen, you need to stop this. You don't know what you're doing.
Molly's eyes, for just a tiny moment, revert to normal, almost as if she's reverted to a child looking at her mother. However, in a quick flash, Aurora pulls out a smaller lightwave gun and shoots, hitting Molly on the shoulder and burning her. In a fit of rage, Molly uses her anger to extend a piece of metal, making it into a spear. In a very fast moment, the spear pierces Aurora through the heart. Aurora looks at the hole, then her daughter, coughing up blood and falling to the floor. She looks up to see Molly approaching.
I think I do.
Molly shoots another small piece of metal into one of Aurora's eyes. Aurora, with the last of her strength, reaches up to touch her daughter's face before succumbing to her wounds and dies on the floor. Molly looks around at the destruction around her, and we can see the hints of a smile. She starts walking out, and as she does, large pieces of metal start attaching themselves to her. She walks out of the building as we see a shadow of her armor. Seeing this, an old man, played by Danny Segrin, yells and runs away. At the ESU Christmas dance, the event is in full swing. In the gymnasium, we see that previous characters are there. Glory Grant is even there. Angelica is there by herself, and she is right next to Francis and Louise. Next to them is Sally, and Bennett Brands, played by Gabriel LaBelle of Fablemans and Saturday Night fame. Frances has her phone out and is rapidly texting Molly, apologizing for not answering the other day and trying to patch things up. She looks really worried. Louise looks over.
Still nothing?
Not even a call. Like,
Did she say she was coming?
not really.
I talked to her yesterday. It seems like she was at least going to make an appearance.
Maybe she's just not feeling well.
I don't know. I should go find her.
Before she can even leave, a part of the wall blows open. Appearing from the wreckage is Molly, now covered in a metal armor with multiple spiky tendrils and long blades. Her face is covered by a mask. She makes her way across the room as shards go flying. While no student is killed, some are definitely injured. Molly sets her sights on Francis and Sally. The two of them see her coming and take their respective partners away as Angelica follows suit. A game of cat and mouse begins to happen as the group evades blades being thrown towards them. Angelica is grazed a little on the arm and Francis is grazed on the head. To the group's horror, they realize that they are now at a dead end. They hear Molly coming up from behind them. They all cower as she approaches. She takes off the face mask and shows her uncaring expression.
Molly, listen, this isn't you. You're not a villain.
This doesn't have to end badly. Please.
Molly extends a large blade and places it in her hands like a samurai blade.
Molly is no more. Swiss Miss is all that remains.
That's not true. Look at what you're doing.
Maul, look at me. I care about you. You're my best friend. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Molly positions the blade above her head, ready to strike them. The group cowers, ready to meet their end. Frances doesn't close her eyes, instead looking at her best friend.
I'm sorry it had to be like this.
Molly holds the blade up high, but before she can strike it down, she stops. She sees the people she cares about cowering and crying in front of her. She looks over to a nearby window, catching her reflection, seeing the monster she has become. She looks back at the group and starts crying to herself. Before extracting the blade, the group looks up at her confused.
I'm sorry.
Molly turns and begins walking away. Francis and Sally get up. Molly is able to see this.
Don't. I can't be here. I'm a monster.
Molly then runs as Francis and Sally try to catch up with her. They go down long hallways, but by the time they reach the last one, Molly is gone. They go outside, but can't even find her there. Frances pants and cries as Sally puts her arm around her, and they look up at the sky. We go a few days later as reports are going on about the attack, although nobody knows who it is. Headlines show that they are investigating what happened. Professor Price is interviewed.
From what was described, it seems like this person was embodying the old myth of Swiss Miss.
Later, Glory Grant is interviewed.
Well, whoever the Swiss Miss is, I think she may have injured my leg. I don't know why, but come on, that really hurt.
We go to a news reporter played by Larry Lieber outside the campus.
Well, folks, you heard it here. It seems these Swiss Miss attacks are indeed real, and have affected the lives of many students. Students Frances Bite, Louise Jameson, Sally Averill, Bennett Brandt, and Angelica Jones were all interviewed following the attacks, but denied knowing anything about the figure. Their mutual friend, Molly Dante, is still missing, possibly still in shock from the death of her mother, Oscorp scientist Aurora Dante.
Each one of the 5 students comes back to their respective dorms as they find a note.
Hey guys, if you're reading this, then you've gathered that I'm not coming back. After what happened, I need time to be by myself. I can't afford to hurt anyone I care about. Someday I think I will be back. When that happens, I'll make it up to all of you. Swiss Miss won't need to be feared. I'm sorry for all I've done. If you can't forgive me, I understand.
We see Molly in the woods with a large bag. She looks out at the campus and gives a small smile.
I hope you all are safe. I'll see you again. Till then, I have some exploring to do. Sincerely, Molly.
As Molly begins to walk away, she throws one metal blade into a nearby tree, right in the center of a painted target. The identity of Molly Dante may be gone, but the Swiss Miss part of her is forever. The end.
All I
Okay.
know, I face myself.
And so ends Swiss Miss.
That is good.
Great. Yeah,
This is good.
I like this a lot.
And it wouldn't be a
There's a lot.
spum movie without some credit scenes.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, for sure. Do you want to go right into them?
I mean, if you guys want to give your thoughts first.
Well, just based on this, just what we have here now, I think there's a lot that's being set up. Obviously, like we mentioned at the top, a lot of these characters are references to characters from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yep.
There's a few references to some. Frances Bite, if I recall correctly, is like a video game avatar villain.
Yes. Or sometimes hero, sometimes
So-
villain.
Sometimes hero, sometimes villain. There are a lot of references here to other things going on that have been established and potential characters that can go off into who knows what.
Yep.
Biggest of all, obviously, Swiss Miss. If she'll be a villain for a while, or if she needs some time to kind of find herself and potentially come back in more of an anti-hero role, or potentially even a full hero.
Yeah.
We'll have to see as the universe goes forward, but I'm really excited for all the different like threads that this leaves open to be connected to other things in the future.
Yeah.
I think that this is really strong, and I'd be down to see you come back in the future and do like a sequel or whatever plans you have for this character and more.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot that could be followed up on for Swiss Miss here.
Yeah.
I like using Oscorp 2 as one more shady thing that it created. But also the relationship between her and her mother is very interesting.
Yeah.
And raises a lot of questions for why, where Molly comes from, why Aurora decided to take her on, things like that. I love Rachel Weisz. bit of a shame that she goes out today, but it's for a good reason.
Yeah. I mean, these 2 credit scenes that I wrote, I will say, they do set up other things.
Let's get into them.
All right.
I'm ready.
So, first off, mid-credit scene. We see a montage of all the things Molly has been doing for the past couple of years. This includes spending some time in the woods before eventually entering a wrestling tournament in Mexico, which she loses to a weird guy called The Answer.
Let's go.
Heck yeah.
Finally, she settles down at Feast, where she is set up with an apartment and a job, now going by the name of Chelsea Swiss. We see the events of Lethal Protectors as she manages to escape the explosion at the shelter and save some people. Later on, at her apartment, Molly eats dinner and watches a television report by the same reporter from earlier.
With the recent horrific events that unfolded at Feast, we are proud to say the police have captured the culprit of the crime, who is none other than the owner of the facility, Martin Lee.
Footage shows Martin Lee being arrested.
The police found Lee at the site of a mysterious hospital, where numerous people were seen escaping from. Nobody quite knows who brought him to justice, but a witness has a theory.
We see footage of the old man from earlier.
I'll tell you who it was. Vigilantes. They're everywhere now, and we can't escape these kinds of people. Even those who do good. Got vampires, aliens, and even living computers now.
Back at the reporter.
You heard it here, folks. It seems that vigilantes were responsible for the capture of a notorious former businessman who, in my eyes, is guilty for the deaths of some 20 people, including 2 very noble women.
Before the report finishes, Molly turns off the TV. As she thinks to herself, she looks down at a knife which she is controlling. She looks up and breathes in.
Do some good.
As she breathes out, she mentally throws the knife at a target, hitting the center. Swiss Miss will return? Question mark?
Yes.
Ooh. Let's see this post-credit scene.
All right.
Let's see it.
Let's see this post-credit scene.
All right. Post-credit scene. A year after the events of the film, Frances returns to her dorm with Miss Lyon. On the bed is a wrapped cluster. There is a note on the outside. Frances picks it up and inspects it. Found this in a local junkyard. Should still work. M. Frances smiles and unwraps the cluster, which is revealed to be a mini arcade cabinet of blue head, which she's never heard of. She plugs in the machine as it starts to boot up, but the cabinet begins to shake and stutter. In the span of a second, the machine lets out an explosion. In a stunning metamorphosis, Frances is enveloped by blinding lights as her body begins to transform into something big. The lights stop, and while we don't see what she looks like just yet, Miss Lyon is clearly confused and a little scared. Frances walks over to a mirror and sees her form. In the reflection, we see a tall 2D figure with red eyes, crab-like hands, white horns, and a pixelated green and blue body. She looks at Miss Lyon and then at herself again. She places the crab hands on her face and says,
What the fuck?
The screen cuts to black. Frances Bite / Video Woman will return.
Ooh.
The end.
Absolute cinema.
Yes. I see you got one more thing written right here.
Oh, yeah. So because this was a Christmas movie, I felt, what was the better way to end the holiday season than with a Swiss Miss inspired Yule log? There were 2 for Venom 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
This one shows a pixelated Swiss Miss in an arcade machine with a fake fire in front of her, as she continually uses some metal to make the fire bigger. Blu-ray is coming soon with an exclusive Swiss Miss figure. Advent calendar sold separately.
Oh, fantastic.
I want that figure.
Yeah, me too.
What would the Avid calendar be? Would it be specifically Swiss Miss related, or would it also feature certain Spum characters as well?
I feel like it would have to be like a whole Spum one.
Funko Pop of Montana. Little Funko of Montana.
It's Ock, but he's got candy cane tentacles.
Ooh.
Ooh. Jonah, this was great. This was a great, like, first guest pitch. Most likely future guest pitches won't be as in-depth as this one, but this is really good. This is a great addition to the Spum universe.
Thank you.
Fellow hosts, do we think this is canon or not?
Oh, it's 100% canon. Are you joking?
It's canon.
It's canon.
Hell yeah.
It's gotta be.
But the second question I got is, does this have to do with Spider-Man?
There is a Louise Jameson.
There is.
Noah's character, played by Ella Purnell,
Yeah,
is
that's true.
a relative of J. Jonah,
Okay.
Yep.
who obviously employs Peter Parker at the Daily Bugle, who is secretly Spider-Man. So it does have like three degrees of separation from Spider-Man, but it has to do vaguely with Spider-Man.
I think so. I think, yeah.
She had a spider plush at one point in the beginning.
She did.
But she also
So-
had the Tinky. And the
Oh
Tinky
my
is also a
gosh.
Diary of a Wimpy
You
Kid.
gotta stop.
I'm gonna shove.
That was a question that I was just reminded of that I meant to ask. I mean, I guess they just explained later with Aurora being like not the best motherly figure in the first place, but the spider plush is dropped and Aurora just like kicks it away,
Yeah, she hates it.
like hides it under the bed. She hates it. She hates spiders.
She doesn't understand why Molly loves this thing so much.
I like that small detail from the get-go that I did not realize was connected to the character reveal until now.
I mean, I will
Very nice.
say that because this was like a guest pitch, Swiss Miss, if you guys want to use her in something, I will give permission for that.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic.
Say that again?
I hate you.
And I have written the entirety of a spin-off,
For real?
or written the outline of Video Woman.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you have a Video Woman pitch fully ready to go.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
entirely yet. I have the outline done. I have not written the script.
Oh,
That's
okay.
hilarious.
I was like,
awesome.
wow. I was gonna say you're going full Noah mode of like here's the really obscure C or D list character, and then the follow up is a spin off of
Yes.
the C or D list character.
It's the best way to do it.
That's exciting.
I love it. We'll definitely have to have you come back at some point as we get further along to pitch that
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Absolutely. Jonah, thank you so much for coming on. Do you have anything you want to promote? Any projects you have in the works? Anything you got coming soon? Or even just a social media handle people can find you on?
Yeah, you can find me on Jonah_Pishkin on Instagram. I'm on Blue Sky too. I do follow you guys on there.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
And be sure to follow us on Blue Sky if you're interested. Any people listening out there?
Peyton tends to run that and
Shit
post randomly every now and then. So whether or not you found him funny this episode, will determine whether or not you think it's worth following the Blue Sky.
I'm gonna be talking tikis.
I was gonna say,
You know he's gonna post that metal ball.
gonna be talking exclusively about Tingy.
Or the lack of not tinky, the anti-tinky.
Welcome to the new segment on the podcast, Tingy Time.
Tinky time, let's go.
That's a horrible thing to say.
I also meant to explain the old man is played by a guy called Danny Segrin. So
Segrin, yeah.
Danny Segrin played Spider-Man on the Electric Company. Like there used to be like sketches where like he'd be-
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
with like word balloons on him.
That's the same where the wall came from too.
Yep.
Oh wow. Deep cut.
Oh,
I'm an obscure guy.
okay.
I have to
Awesome.
make sure when I make the wiki page for this to include like references, like a list at the bottom.
Mhm.
That's great.
Make sure you remember the references that you made.
Yeah.
I know we've said it a bunch off the pod and many times on the pod, but because we have you here, just massive thank you for creating and keeping the wiki up to date.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
you,
It is one of the
yeah.
coolest things that has come from this entire thing.
Part of the reason we wanted to have I personally wanted to have you as one of our first guests is just because it was like it just tremendously flattering
Yeah.
to be like people like the podcast enough to actually like take all the info that we're throwing out into the void and put it down and keep record of it.
I mean, I was really impressed. I got an ad for this while listening to an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark Universe? I was like, I like Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Those movies are weird. I'll listen to this.
Thank you. We're honored.
I told you the Dark Universe ad would pay off.
Yes.
It did.
We got a whole wiki out of it.
Hell yeah.
Which is crazy.
Well, thank you, Jonah.
Of course.
And I guess we're gonna close it on out now.
All right.
Closing the pod. First guest episode in the can. Not as in like thrown out, trashed, but it's done.
See you in 2 weeks when we release the spectacular
The Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm once again kicking off one of our 3 mainline pitches for the new phase. I'm going to die.
You got it, man.
Heck yeah.
I'm
Got it.
excited.
But there should be some pretty big surprises in store
Ooh.
for you guys when we read that in 2 weeks, or when you guys hear it 2 weeks from when this is uploaded.
Because this one definitively has to do with Spider-Man because he's in the freaking title.
I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.